Hi, welcome. Today I'll be criticizing the animation In the Fall by Steve Cutts. From the very start of the video, we can see how the man's world is in black and white, void of any color, which, from how I see it, may be the way that the main character perceives his life. From how I interpret it, the most prominent colors, which are black and white, represent the monotony in his life, which we can actually see further along in the short film. The man's daily life consists of him sitting in front of his computer day in and day out without fail, along with the mountain of paperwork he has to get through every single day, and having to live in this never ending cycle which must get exhausting at some point. Going back though, throughout the whole video, there was actually only like two instances when color was present, and this was when he was on the rooftop watering his plants, and suddenly a bright yellow banana appeared, which I don't understand how he didn't see, but is what he slips on, placing him in a position where he is on the literal edge of his rooftop. I can actually see a moment of hesitation when he was on the edge, because from the very start, or well, from the very second that he stepped onto the ledge, be it accidentally, he had every opportunity to step back and step away from danger. Yet he didn't, and it seemed like he was debating whether or not to accept what is happening. It's relatable though, because for the first time, something different has happened, and change, especially after sticking to a routine that at the very least is functional or gives you some sense of comfort, is scary, despite it meaning something better. I have felt that too before, since you can never really get rid of uncertainty. And when it comes to change, you can never know if it entails a positive or a negative outcome. Moving on, now to the second instance where the color yellow appears. This time around, we see the color yellow because while the man is teetering on the edge, a yellow butterfly rests on the man's arm, which ultimately causes him to lose his balance and plummet to his death. So, when we look into what butterflies symbolize, they often symbolize change and transformation. But at the same time, butterflies also symbolize hope. I think that due to the man slipping on the banana peel, he was somewhat given a taste of what change feels like, you know? Because it's not like every day that you slip on a banana peel on your rooftop. But I think it is then that he somehow gains hope that something may actually change for the better, because the cycle of his boring life was somewhat broken. Eventually, he succumbs to what is about to happen and allows himself to freefall. And you know that line that goes like, life flashes before your eyes, especially in a near death situation? This seems like an accurate visual representation of that, because in here we actually see how his life played out so far. All the way from when he was a baby to his late adulthood. We get to see all his achievements and successes and times when he was truly happy. And all throughout those moments, we see him donning a smile. But then, slowly by slowly, like across the years, we see his smile start to fade and is then replaced with a frown. This change started when he got tied down to his job, somewhat literally, because throughout the years, we never saw him even get up from his chair. His frown may indicate his sadness or his disappointment in his current situation, because at this point, his life started to get repetitive and dull. When the life montage ended, it seemed like he had a realization or even a reflection. Like, at that point, it was too late to change anything, and that there was literally nothing he could do because he has wasted so much precious time. So we see him smile, maybe in relief for the very first time in years. He sits back and even lights a cigarette to finally relax, just accepting his fate and kind of accepting that he somewhat wasted his life. But at the end, he wanted to enjoy the moment for what it is. At that moment, he starts to feel good because at the very least, in his last moments, he wasn't doing the usual boring routine. so he enjoyed his last moment free. The message I got from this is that we start to live our life only when we realize that we are free, but sometimes it may be a bit too late. So, with regard to how this short film ends, it doesn't explicitly show what actually happens to the man, but it's implied at the very end. You can hear quite a crispy thud followed by what sounds like horrified shrieks, which can only mean one thing, and that's the man splatted to his death. So that's it for today. I hope you had fun reacting to In the Fall by Steve Cuts with me. Moral of the short film is that you should do what makes you happy. Such.